A stakeholders workshop for the third International Conference on Small Island Developing States was held this morning at the Superclub's Breezes to assess progress made in the implementation of the Barbados Program of Action.
Head of the BEST Commission, Mr. Philip Weech, says the outcome of the workshop will be communicated to the government and will be used in negotiations which will follow on the successor agreement to the Millennium Development Goals, which were agreed by the United Nations system to be implemented by 2015.
Representing foreign affairs at the UN General Assembly level. We have persons in the NGO community that are here. We have civil groups. We have the Pan American Health Organization, the Inter-American Development Bank, IECA, all of those agencies involved in providing us with that assistance this year, and we're trying to better define how does an archipelagic nation like the Bahamas respond to those threats. But the question becomes one of, has it been enough? Has it been fast enough? Has it delivered on what we had intended? And the answer for all of us is probably no. The fact that we've seen for this year the highest levels of CO2 in emissions in the atmosphere means that we have a long way to go if we're going to reverse those trends. This workshop is intended to help us to develop what should be the Bahamas position going forward.
Criminal charges may be pending in connection with that police-involved shooting in Deep Creek, Eleuthera on the weekend. Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade says the offenses were committed in connection with that incident.
It's unfortunate. We do have a young man in hospital nursing his injuries as a result of what you certainly have been told about already, police-involved shooting. But some things went very, very wrong in that matter. You can't have any member of your public fighting with the police. If a police officer places you under arrest, you should follow the instructions, you should comply. And we have a saying, you comply and you complain later, because someone will hear your complaint. That said, I'm not proffering a position either way, except to tell you that the matter is being properly investigated. I've assigned Assistant Commissioner Leon Bethel to take over the file, and going forward, any police-involved shootings will be dealt with by Assistant Commissioner Bethel with the full support of the Officer in Charge of Complaints and Corruption Branch. That's Mr. Melvin Lundy.
Now, the suspect, a 28-year-old man of Deep Creek, was shot to the thigh. He was reportedly being arrested when he attempted to injure the officer. He's detained in stable condition in hospital here in the capital. Meantime, Mr. Greenslade said the officer, who has been placed on administrative leave, also sustained serious bite wounds to the face and arm. Greenslade also said he's disturbed that residents didn't step in to assist the officer, who did not have backup at the time. Police are investigating the death of a female who was found in the area of St. Augustine's Monastery off Bernard Road. Authorities told reporters on the scene the victim was found by a jogger who was passing by. Police press officer Superintendent Stephen Dean wasn't able to reveal many details, only that the young woman, believed to be in her 20s, was wearing a blue shirt and pink pants. Police have released her identity, and she is 18-year-old Altronika Young of Monastery Heights off Bernard Road. An investigation is ongoing.
Well, this next story could cause you to sit up tonight. The driver of this limousine that you'll see in a minute is lucky to be alive tonight after his vehicle sustained severe damage in this freak traffic accident late last night. Traffic police tell us that the driver is a diabetic and had reportedly not eaten all day Sunday. While driving south on the roundabout on JFK, he allegedly blacked out and at a high rate of speed ended up in a 15 to 20 foot ditch off Bethel Avenue. Police confirm the driver had no passengers inside at the time of the crash. Hundreds or scores of residents gathered at the scene to make sure the driver was okay. Emergency personnel arrived on the scene and provided medical treatment. Get this though, traffic police confirmed that the limousine driver was reportedly involved in a hit-and-run accident on West Bay Street near Bahama Grill right before crashing near the roundabout. He did have several visitors in his vehicle then, however, no one was injured. The driver left that scene heading to the roundabout. Now, our cameras were also rolling when traffic police learned about a traffic accident involving a motorcyclist around 9 o'clock Sunday night. Traffic police confirmed that motorcyclist, identified as a male resident of Bilney Lane who is in his late 30s, was reportedly traveling west on Wolf Road. At the same time, a vehicle traveling east made a right turn onto Wilson Tract. That's when the collision happened. Traffic police confirmed the motorcyclist sustained minor lacerations to the head just above the right eye and an even bigger laceration to the back of his head. He was sent to the hospital for medical treatment.
Well, coming up in Family Island news, we take a look at urban renewal on the islands.
And then in sports, we've got the latest from the World Track and Field Championships. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The government has approved 2 offers to be made to the World Trade Organization Accession Division. Minister of Financial Services Ryan Pinder announced today that the Bahamas will submit its new trade in services and trade in goods offers soon. The submission of the revised offers advances the country's WTO accession negotiation process. The government first made application to accede to the WTO back in 2001. Consolidated Water Company Limited is reporting an increase in total revenue for the first quarter of 2013 with an increase of 2% to about $16.6 million. This is slightly higher for the period last year, which recorded $16.2 million in the second quarter. Chief Executive Officer Rick McTaggart said operating income increased 43% from the prior year period in the most recent quarter. This, he said, is primarily due to improved operating leverage in the retail business segment, along with improved margins in bulk water business. And Reuters is reporting that the Canadian maker of the BlackBerry smartphone is looking at options that would include joint venture offers, partnership, or a sale of the company that struggles to stay afloat against stiff competition. Once on the cutting edge, offering at your fingertips email services, BlackBerry set up a committee today to review its options. This after shareholder Prem Watson stepped down from its board due to a possible conflict of interest. The new BlackBerry Z10 smartphone's performance has also failed to gain traction with consumers. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jamila.